Well, it's good to see everybody. Obviously everybody that comes up here is going to say how excited they are about what's going on. I'd like to start off by just talking about how excited I am about the Big 12. This is going into our 6th year. Really, for the first time, feel like, we're a true member. We've all the programs, not just football, but all the programs have stepped up and been incredibly competitive. In a very competitive league. It's a tough league to win in. And, I think there's a lot of excitement right now with the Big 12. We won 10 games last year but didn't win our bowl game. But the rest of the Big 12 did really good in their bowl games. So I think there's a lot of excitement surrounding college football within the Big 12, and I think that's going to continue to just do well throughout the course of the country. A lot of exciting matchups. We open up with Virginia Tech. I know a lot of the other schools have got big matchups. We didn't do very good last year in the non-conference as a league. I know we're motivated to go out there and show the country that we're as good as anybody else in the Power Five. That's what's on my mind. So excited about the season and getting started. We'll take some questions here.
Okay, first question for Coach. We've got a question in the center. In just a minute, we'll get the microphone to you. And again, if you'll stand up and state your name and your affiliation, please.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Tribune Herald. Dana, you have a number of transfers in your two deep. What do you feel like it is about West Virginia that makes it such a respite maybe for guys that are looking to transfer, whether that's JUCO guys or four-year guys?
Yeah, we made that decision about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's 5 years ago. We went 4-8, and the first year in the league we had some top end talent, but our depth wasn't very good. Recruited a lot of high school kids, got our depth better, but we went 4-8, so we needed some more top end talent. So started doing a lot of transfers, and they've worked out. It's just kind of what our niche has been. We went better than 50%, more than 50% transfers this last year. The 26 available we had, I think 14 or 15 of them ended up being transfers. They've just worked out for us. I used to get nervous on signing day when we missed out on a couple of high school kids. Now I don't really, it doesn't bother me. Not that I don't care, it doesn't bother me. Because we can find guys later on. We've took 3 or 4 transfers here in the last couple of months, that I think are going to end up making our program better. So West Virginia is a little bit of a melting pot. We don't get many high school kids from West Virginia, probably 0 to 2 a year. So we got to go everywhere, and part of what has enabled us to be able to have a lot of success is to get some good transfers. Got 2 of them here today. Kaiser White is from Lackawanna Junior College, and Justin Crawford is from Northwest Mississippi Junior College. Those guys are good players, and that's top end talent that we need to be able to win this league.
Question on the right side, 3 rows back.
Hey, Dana, I'm Tim Griffin with diehards.com and also the Cox Media Group. You're not going to be calling plays this year. I wonder how that will change what you do on game day, what your thoughts are about that transition, and why did you make it?
A couple of reasons. One, I got complete confidence in Jake Spavital. I trained him for 4 years. He was my personal GA for 4 years and trained him how to do things. He went out on his own and did a lot of really good things. He knows how I think. I know how he thinks. So I've got 100% complete confidence in him being able to do that. I thought the time was right as well. He was kind of in the market for a job when he was at Cal, and their head coach got let go. So he was kind of looking. Now they wanted to keep him. He had plenty of options out there. He was one of the hottest, most sought-out offensive coordinators in the country last year, and we were fortunate to get him. Helps when his wife is from West Virginia. But I thought the time was right, was able to get him. I was awarded a 5-year contract, so I just kind of took a look at where we were at as a program. We've been improving over the last 3-4 years. I feel like the way to continue to improve is to focus on some of the other areas. You know, our recruiting's probably better than it ever has been, spending a lot more time with that. You know, the fundraising aspect of it, facilities, coaching and retaining coaches is a big thing. And, you know, so I'm going to be able to do a lot more of that stuff. And just overall game management and player management and coach management on game day is something I'm going to really focus on.
Question halfway back on the left.
Hey, Dana, Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star. I just wanted you to expand on that thought that after 6 years, you finally feel like a Big 12 member.
Well, there's just nothing, there's no surprises anymore. I mean, we know how to travel. Our fan base knows what to expect. You know, our players walk into the building and they look at, I got pictures of 9 different stadiums on our wall. You know, they used to sit there and study them, and now they don't even really look at them because they understand what the opponent is. They understand what the facilities are. You know, there's an aspect of the monetary aspect of it as well. I mean, we're finally a full-fledged member. I mean, that makes a big difference when you get that check. You know, so you know, there's there's a lot of time where we weren't getting that check, obviously. So it just feels like we belong. I mean, I feel all the programs, and it's not just what we're doing in football. It's all the programs and just the overall athletic department in general. I think Shane Lyons is doing a great job as our athletic director, and you know, we got things headed in the right direction. It just feels like there's a lot of momentum right now.
On the left side, halfway back.
Back here. Dana, Chris Vanini, coachingsearch.com. Speaking of transfers, the NCAA will start looking at possibly changing some things down the road, such as permission to contact, graduate transfers count for 2 years. Do you have any thoughts on that?
The NCAA looks at things all the time, so I don't pay attention to anything that they're looking at. They're not going to listen to us anyway. So, you know, I will. When they change rules, I will learn the rules and I will abide by the rules. And until that happens, I'm not going to worry too much about it.
Question on the aisle right side.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Dana, the importance for your program in the timing that you had with Will Greer's eligibility being settled this summer, and then your thoughts on the impact he can make right away in teaming with Spav?
Yeah, it was critical that we got him when we got him. You know, we had Skyler coming back for another year, but our quarterback depth was not good. So getting him was awful big. It didn't take long for us to figure out that he's a really good player. He's got that starting quarterback trait. I mean, he's a coach's kid. You know, he's a winner. He's always up at the office. He doesn't have a whole lot of extracurricular activities other than his wife and little girl. He's about to graduate, you know, so he's on track with that as well. He's kind of got things together right now. Got the locker room ready to roll. You know, he gets them out there and he watches film with them and throws a lot of stuff with them. So he does it. He controls the huddle, does everything right. The timing and getting him was critical because we knew he'd be eligible right now. You know, I know there were some NCAA hoops that we had to jump through, but we knew we could be able to do that to get him eligible for game one, and he's ready to rock and roll.
We've got a question on the left.
Yeah, hi, Dana. Garen Emig of the Tulsa World. I wanted to ask you about Bob Stoops' decision to step down at his age, and I'm wondering if that symbolizes sort of a changing mindset in your profession in terms of, you know, mindful of your health, not wanting to coach, you know, deep into your life as opposed to perhaps other eras and that kind of thing.
Admirable. It was a little startling when I just first heard it, but then after I kind of just sat there and talked about it and talked to some people and thought through it, it's incredibly admirable. You know, he's family and friends is very important to Bob. Bob's a guy that I look up to. I've spent, you know, a lot of time with him just in the coaching circles. Fortunate to be able to spend some time with him, and I know family and friends is very, very, very important to him. And you know, he's accomplished everything that he can accomplish. What more can he do? He's got the program in a great spot. Did it to where nobody lost their job. Is able to watch his boys play high school football. It's just everything about what he did is incredibly admirable to me.
in the middle, about halfway back.
Hey, Dana, Suzanne Halliburton, Austin American Statesman. Big 12 coaching, all the coaches, they're the youngest staffs in the country, the youngest overall. I think it's 46.5 years. You've got 3 new coaches coming on board. How do you see the Big 12 rebooting itself, so to speak, in their image or in a much younger image?
I don't know that the age has anything to do with it. You know, I don't think about it that way. Heck, I don't even know how old I am. So I don't pay attention to, I guarantee you Coach Snyder doesn't pay attention either. So I don't know if that does anything for our image. I know you guys want to make a big deal about a couple of hot new coaches coming in. You know, they're just coaches to me. You know, I've known both those guys for a long time, and they're just coaches to me. So I think our image needs to improve by just continuing to win games. That's what needs to happen. I think we closed the year out very well, won a lot of games in the bowl games, and you know, obviously we didn't do our part on that, but we did win 10 and finish in the top 20. So, you know, it's a new year. Let's get out there, and we got some very high-profile games coming up. Game 1, we play Sunday night prime time, Virginia Tech. You want to reshape the image of the league, you need to win games. That's what it's about.
Question on the left aisle.
Hey, Coach. Nick Kruger, Rivals.com. Outside of Greer, you know, looking at the rest of the quarterbacks that you have on the roster, kind of what's your evaluation of the guys that you've added, what you've seen from the spring, and then going forward after Will's time is done, you know, your level of confidence in those guys going forward?
Yeah, it's, you know, I think Jake's done a great job of coming in and focusing hard on just quarterback recruitment. That's one thing that I think was overlooked on my part just a little bit when it came to, you know, with me being the coordinator and the quarterback coach, get pulled in so many different directions. I don't think I did a fantastic job of that. Chris Chuganoff is our backup. I mean, he's going into his sophomore year. He's a 4.0 guy that has experience and has taken a lot of reps. Went out and signed David Israel, a junior college player out of Kansas, who has a red shirt and 3 years to play. Not quite sure what he can do yet. We got to get our hands on him in August. You know, and then Jake's done a good job of bringing 2 more kids in, a transfer out of Miami, Jack Allison, who's got to sit. And then we got a commitment right now as well. So the room for the future, to me, looks really healthy as it's ever been. You know, I feel like we got a good starter, a good backup, and then we got a question mark at third.
Question in the right side front.
Hey, Coach. Kyle Porter with Pistols Firing. You coming from Oklahoma State, coaching under Mike Gundy, what do you feel like was the biggest takeaway that you learned from him that you've applied to your program successfully at West Virginia?
I'll tell you, Mike's really good at old school, tough, disciplined stuff. You know, he just the relationship he has with Rob Glass was really fun to watch. Those guys, the way they practiced and the way that they developed their players in the weight room and from a practice point of view, from the toughness aspect of thing, is probably the main thing that I took out from there.
Question in the middle front.
Good morning, Coach. Bob Akayeri with Reddit College Football, or CFB. How does Will Greer starting open up the offense for you this year compared to last year?
Yeah, he's a little bit more of a pocket guy than Skyler was. You know, Skyler was a tough, gritty, could run the ball, did a great job in the run game. You know, which we're going to continue to do. I mean, we're going to run the football. We've had a 1,000-yard rusher for I think the last 5 seasons, and we got the Big 12 leading rusher returning. So, you know, we're going to run the ball. Will understands that and understands the run game. Probably not going to run him as much as we ran Skyler. I mean, he'll fool you with how athletic he is, but got to protect him as well. But the pocket aspect of this is going to be better. He's a better pocket passer. He can sit in there. He's tall. He can go through his reads, and he can make every throw.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your answers and your quotes. Good luck on the next season.
All right, thank you.